G'day guys, welcome to Rumble's Fish Room. So on today's video we are unboxing a brand new filter. Disclaimer here, I've already opened the box because I couldn't help myself. I wanted to get that picture to post on Facebook, and that picture is also probably the thumbnail of this video. Alright, so for anybody who hasn't been in my fish room before, first thing I've got to mention, between my tanks and the next rack, pretty much everywhere, down the bottom, the middle one, and even to the roof. The roof one may be a little bit taller, but these gaps are all 200 millimeters. I think some of them are 190 millimeters, but they're within 10 millimeters. Oh guys, and also Ryan, well, I gotta stop saying Ryan. Korean Pet Central gave me some fish. If you want to know what they are, it's actually on the Patreon. I'm doing that thing again where I give the Patreon a bit of a head start on what new fish we got. So that tank's not cycle, but a bit of a hint to what fish they are. The fish are cheap enough that I'm doing a fish cycle, and they are readily available enough that I'm not stressed about the tank cycling with them in there. I seeded the filter, so it's not doing a major cycle, but it's a bit how you going. So yeah, 200 mil restraints. As you guys know, I get completely sidetracked. Oh yeah, so yeah, no, we're not going to talk about the food. We're going to stay on topic. All right, so this thing, nothing is in English. The brand is that it? I don't know. It's actually an XY3530. If you want one, contact Korean Pet Central, because I've looked online, I've looked on eBay. These aren't even on eBay. So I've actually wanted one of these I saw one about 12 months ago. No, it was probably actually longer. A lady I know named Cherie sent me a photo of one, and the reason I didn't get one off her is just because the shipping was going to be too much. By the time it shipped to her and then she shipped it back over to me, it was going to be ridiculous. But anyway, Korean Pet Central can get these. They don't have them in stock, they are special order. But we've got a pipe here. What can we compare it to? It's smaller than that. It's the same size as that back there. So this is 40 millimeter PVC. Whatever that is in inches. 1 3/4 inch, maybe. 1 inch is 25. 1.5. I don't know. Anyway, 40 millimeter lift pipe. This thing is huge. Like, just my hand for reference. 4 hands across. So this piece I learnt last night. It's actually threaded, so that screws off. I'm gonna deconstruct this completely to show you guys. It's got an air stone in it. I've already had to think of this, and I'm gonna retrofit a second air stone in it, and I'm gonna run both, because why not? Let's get some extra flow. There's 2 air stones in the packet. Why not run 2? I kind of think is that what they're leaning towards? I don't know. Anyway, so there's the sponge. The sponge. Alright, so it doesn't, that bucket is 35 liters. So we've got 35 liters of medium. That's insane. 35 liters. That is more than an FX6, I think, don't quote. Yeah, definitely that. So this sponge filter is bigger than an FX6. So if you get enough air pumping through this, depending on what media you have in the FX6, don't get all technical on me, but this could actually be as efficient, if not more efficient, I won't say more efficient, because if you put like Marine Pure and FX6, it's clearly going to be more efficient. But this thing weighs this weighs a ton. I reckon that's 1.5 kilos. I reckon that's heavy. So that's all 40 millimeters. The only thing I'm wondering, that air stone doesn't go all the way to the bottom, so I'm wondering if we could extend that a little bit and get it running better. But anyway, now you guys have seen me pull it apart. I'm going to go off camera a bit. I'm going to set up that second air stone. I might show you before I drop it in. I'm not sure yet. And then we'll have a chat after that. Alright, so sponge goes back on. I really hope the camera's doing it justice, guys. I know that the fisheye lens is going to make the sponge look smaller than it actually is. Alright, so one air stone in. I like these air stones. They're huge, and they seem quite porous, so they should release quite a lot of air, hopefully. It's always a bit of a, what's the word? I want to say caution, but it's always a worry with air stones, and I'm running a blower which is only like 1 psi, so it's always a worry whether there's enough air pressure to run the air stones. Alright, so then put this, they're all twisted. Goes on there, and then this should be pretty much in half. Sorry, I'm using 2 hands. Should be using 1 hand so you guys don't get shaking around so much. So, plan for this week, guys, I'm going to try and smash out a bit of fish content, and I've actually still got my bit of a weight loss video up my sleeve. I figured it's been not enough fish content the last couple of weeks, so I want to punch out some fish content before I give you guys that weight loss one, and also look forward to it, because I actually took some footage at the gym of me struggling to do some cardio and that, so I really stepped out of my comfort zone for that video. I hope you guys like it, because it we'll see. We'll just see. Hopefully you guys don't hate me for posting a video about exercise. I don't think you would. Would you guys ever hate me? I'm thinking about trying to adapt this 6mm line here to run that. Let's do that. Alright guys, so believe it or not, even though the tank looks trash, I gave it a bit of a clean out. There was like miscellaneous like cable ties, pieces of airline, stingray barbs. There was actually a piece of glass just floating around at the bottom. This tank, mildly neglected, maybe more than mild. Basically the way that filter was sitting along the back there was just heaps of shit behind it. It does need a vac, but I'm probably not going to vac it until maybe, I don't know, I'll decide tomorrow. I might even do a quick vac tomorrow once it's all settled. There's not much point in doing a vac right now because it's going to look like shit tomorrow either way. I like to vac when it settles and like try and vac without lifting anything, so that way you get more of it that way. I hate vacuuming and then coming in the next day. I don't know, I'm going to have to build this in there, I reckon, guys. It's going to fit, I promise. I promise. Live action. we're not stopping the video from now until the time this filter is built in that tank. Because there's no point in promoting this filter unless my fellow breeders can use it. Because at the end of the day, who wants a sponge filter unless it's for breeding? You're not going to get this and put it in your lounge room. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this in. I underestimated the sponge. Do you think? So, for size reference, look at the sponge. That gap there is 200 millimeters, and that's what I'm trying to squeeze through. How am I going to clean this? Oh my god. I'm going to crack the tank getting it in. Oh my god. That was hard work. Could you guys see how hard that was? I've just come back from the gym. I'm tired as. I climbed 600 stairs yesterday, guys. Can you imagine how sore I am? Alright. As I promised, live action. This clip is unedited of me getting it in there. Of course I've got to leave it unedited because you've got to laugh at that. There's one vital part of this I haven't thought about. The standpipe is so much taller than the tank. I didn't measure the height of it. Alright, so we're cutting the standpipe. I'll keep it full length, but like all the way to the top. This tank's 2 foot deep. I guess the sponge is 35 centimeters. That's already over a foot. I really haven't thought this through, guys. I don't want to cut the pipe. It's beautiful. Alright, so that's the end of the unedited clip because I've got to go cut this. I'm not going to lie, guys. A little bit inside me died when I just cut that pipe. I feel sad that I couldn't keep it the full height, but I think even if you had a 2.5 foot deep tank, that you might still need to cut it. I cut it exactly on the water level, so you'll actually be able to see the flow, which is cool. Alright, ready? Let's hook this up. I'll bring the camera closer, I reckon. Alright, let's get the filter in a good viewing spot. About there, I reckon. How do you like that? Then I've got my airline here that I've adapted the 6mm to a 4mm T. Complicated adaptation, that one. I might put it. I'll keep it under the light. It came with a really nice airline. It's really thick. It's actually nicer than the airline that I own. So, shout outs to the airline. Check that out. That's cranking. I tried to put an elbow on top, guys. Turns out it's like 0.5 millimeter bigger than standard 40mm PVC. Might be able to put a 50mm on it. Check out that flow. So even though it's got the media capacity of an FX6, it definitely doesn't have the flow. I would say that it's got 1,000 litres per hour, maybe a little bit more. My other 40mm airlifts, they have about 800 litres per hour, so I would say 1,000 is probably a good guess because this is flowing a bit more air than them. Alright, so I fixed the air stone. One of the air stones is at the top. I put that one down to the bottom and we actually got more flow out of it. I reckon that's probably 1,200 litres per hour, I'd guess. The sponge filter itself is definitely, I don't know if it's meant to be real or a novelty, but we're going to use it in a real situation. I think it's cool. It looks ridiculous. This tank is ridiculous. But realistically, who actually has a 7x4x2 in their fish room? The tank's a bit of a novelty. I've got 50 Boccachromis in there. The colony in there is kind of a bit of a novelty in that sense. This tank is probably my favorite out of all of them as far as funny slash comedic slash cool slash random value. But anyway guys, I'm going to wrap it up there because I've got to go make tomorrow's video. Tomorrow's video is putting some new plants in the planted tank. Fellow subscriber messaged me, said, hey, do you want some free plants? Never going to say no. And I thought it was just going to be cuttings, but it turns out it's completely rooted plants, which is really cool. Absolute superstar. He just had an overgrown tank and he wanted to trim it back. He did say that some of the plants are a little bit rough, but I'm sure they'll come back in my tank. So anyway, catch that tomorrow, and if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Boom. I was impressed how many likes I got on the live stream, guys. Not many views because it was Father's Day, but everyone smashed the like button, which I thought was really cool. I was super impressed with that. If you're not subscribed, hit that little red button. You might be excited to see some of the stuff I do on the channel. I kind of want to keep it more in the fish direction, and so this week is going to be lots of fish content, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.